This again, 5 types of body fat. These are the only ones. There's some other cool technology that's coming out. There's a scale right now that will do a 3D scan of you. It's a home body scale. It's a home scale. You stand on it. It's like $300 and it does this 3-dimensional thing, kind of like when you go on an x-ray to do your teeth. It's almost identical. My concern, it's a home scale, so I don't think it has that level of accuracy, but there is we'll call that 3D technology. I think that's pretty cool, but I don't think it's been on the market long enough to be a solid consideration for the 5 types of body fat. So the hydrostatic is water displacement. Water displacement. I told you my issue with that. The accuracy, they're only out of 1 to 3 stars. 3 being the best. My issue there is it's not going to calculate gains in strength appropriately because it's water displacement. What is the water at pressure? I don't know what formula they're using, but they're using the displacement. You sitting in there, coming in, there's a rise, a displacement of water. Whatever that gap is, that's how they're coming up with your body fat. The reason I have an issue with that is if you're gaining more muscle than fat, it still creates displacement. So there's some error going on there. Caliper, it's what we use. Oh, so what would they charge you? They're gonna charge you anywhere between 100 and 150. My cost, I would never buy one because they cost thousands of dollars, but there are companies that bring in the trucks for at no charge for me if I can get a minimum amount of members. Calipers is what we use since day one. To me, this is a 2.5 stars. For a couple of reasons. One, you gotta have the right caliper. You can't buy a $15 plastic caliper online and think you're gonna have success. The sites run anywhere from 3 to 12. I think they go up to 20. We stick to a 12 because the research that I read is that the standard deviation is anywhere between 2 to 3% off the 12 site. So 12 site takes a lot of time and a lot of accuracy to pinch the same place every time. With that said, the same coach has to keep pinching the individual every single time they retest every 6 to 8 weeks, or there can be some error right there. That's why it's not a 3-star. 3 sites, what we do with the right caliper. I love it. Why? Because a really good caliper is going to cost anywhere between, for me, it's going to cost me anywhere between $200 to $500. I've seen these calipers run. There's some really nice ones out there. The cost to our members right now is really cheap, $10. First one's free. Why? Because I want them to know what it is currently with no barrier to entry due to the body fat. Every 6 to 8 weeks, they're going to get an email to do it again. This is the only way, any of these are the only way to truly know whether an individual is getting in better shape from a health perspective. It's the only biological number I use. We need to put the weight in because that's how we calculate body fat. You can't do that. There's a formula we follow online. It's the fixed formula for all the calculators that will take in a couple biomarkers you need to have. Most of these actually will ask you the same thing, but all the biomarkers are going to be what's your age. They ask for gender. Why is that important? There's 3 sites that we pinch. One is on chest, belly, and mid-thigh. Can we pinch ladies at the chest? No, so we pinch them on the tricep. Well, you could, but that site is always going to have fat on it, right? So that doesn't really change. We're not. Yeah, we're not. Yes, there you go. That could be lean with some fakies on there, but no, that's what we're. They change a little bit. The other is going to be weight. You can't get body fat without weight. And the same could also be true. The weight means absolutely crap without a body fat. Crap. You're telling me you're going to give me your weight? Just give me your weight on paper, and I'm supposed to tell you whether you're healthy or not? You're lean or not? That's impossible. You need all these biomarkers, every single one of them, and that would give me the body fat. Just give me your body fat, I'll tell you whether you're healthy or not, lean or not at least. Appropriate weight to do some of this stuff here. Why is it so challenging for people to do the stuff that we do here? Because they lack appropriate body fat and according to their current level of strength. There's a huge gap. And they want to go do 50 pull-ups. Sounds crazy. Forget that. 3 pull-ups.
I'm thinking 1.
Forget that. 1 pull-up. So if we get you to lean body weight, is your issue lean body weight anymore? Do you need to go from 20% to 10% body fat? No. Now we got to pick this one up and close that gap off some more. I can guarantee there's not somebody there who's 50 pounds overweight doing 50 keeping pull-ups. It's physiology, and if we can get them to understand that number, we're going to get them to move better, because now they're going to be like, the only way I can move better is just not train more, is to get these numbers appropriate for everything we do here. BIA, this is bioelectrical impedance. It's also known as that thing where you've held in your hand or you've held on the scale and it shoots an electrical impulse through your body, and the speed that it takes to go from here to your head and back has a formula set in on the scale. The faster it comes to you, the less body fat you have in theory. You don't need to calculate any of that. That's how the number is calculated. The theory is if you have more body fat, these electrical signals travel slower through the body, which means a slower response time means higher body fat. That's why at the not counting in body, I'll talk about that in a second, I think all these other devices are 1 star, highly inaccurate, highly inaccurate, because the speed at which the impulse happens, the formula in which they're using to calculate the body fat are inconsistent. So we don't like that one. Stay away from that. First thing I ask them, have you done body fat? They say yes. I don't take their body fat at face value until I ask them what type of body fat did you do. This is why this is important. The InBody is amazing. It's moving into a medical grade BIA. They're really expensive, so my cost is going to be about $7K. $7K. That's why really big gyms have it now. The smaller gyms, they're starting to offer leasing plans or financing plans that'll help us out. There is a lot more accuracy here, but there's still some inconsistency. I would put the InBody at probably 2.5 stars. And not just for that, it's the software technology. The moment you get this printed out, one is speed. This will take about 5 minutes from start to finish. We didn't talk about speed either. Hydrostatic, probably about 20 minutes to do the test. Caliper takes me less than 5 minutes. That stuff is important because this is what I'm using as a gym owner to gauge which one I'm going to do. I'm just not going to go with the most expensive. That's stupid. It's got to work for our budget, our membership base, and so forth. 2.5 stars here. The reading, once you do this in less than 5 minutes, you guess what? Calculate the same biomarkers, sit on the scale. This one has it with a post here. The electrical impulse is really good. It's medical grade, considered medical grade and rated. It's going to give you an amazing printout of fat on every single part of your body. It's legit. It has a software program and an app that you can log into and see all this yourself. Keep coming in. It saves all your data, so you jump back on. Brett, boom, his old one before and after. It's legit, but for me, it's the cost. Here we would charge, I see we're charging, it depends what kind of program you're creating for the InBody BIA or this. The cost for a BIA, you would do it free, right? When you got it free, the cheap ones?
It was
Okay, well, so the really cheap ones, most of these commercial gyms are giving it to you for free as part of the, as a way to upsell you, to be like, oh man, here, let's do this for free today. Man, you really need personal training, we can help you out. The InBody, they're selling anywhere between $30 to $100 for a test. The reason for that is they're starting to get creative with lifestyle challenges here, or they're putting that into a 30-day weight loss challenge, and then that's part of it. So that's a way to consider it. This is what they consider. DEXA, this is the gold standard. It's the MRI of body fat scanning. You can find them. There are sports facilities that are starting to offer DEXA. You can go to any hospital and do it. DEXA was traditionally used for typical, like full body MRI scanning, heart. It can go as deep into the heart, into the muscle, into the knee. We used it because it could scan body fat, muscle, and bone density. It's phenomenal, but it can be expensive. This is not even a conversation for us at DEXA because they don't have financing plans for that. The cost for you is probably whatever, if your insurance can cover it or not, I would say anywhere between $100 to $300 for that DEXA scan. That probably takes 10 minutes to run the MRI and get your results. And last but not least, BodPod, it's air displacement. They know what the air displacement is without you in it. They put you in it, and it comes back with a formula. I think it's very inaccurate for the same reason the hydrostatic is inaccurate. Absolutely different. The displacement can be caused by muscle or fat, or water retention, or that time of the month. So those things really affect that. It's very inaccurate. You're gonna pay just as much as you did for the BodPod, $100 to $150. And I wouldn't pay for this either because it's too expensive. And then the new one, the 3D, I think this is cool because they're offering the cool technology of 3D and a body fat version. You're getting those 3D full body scan of body fat, bone density, skin, muscle mass. Pretty neat. I think we're just not there to produce the accuracy the way we move from this really entry-level home BIA to InBody. That's kind of what's happening here. I think this is going to be the next coolest thing. Cool, makes sense, guys? Questions? Let's picture real quick so Jack can see.